hopefully all of you guys will be healthy at your home during this tough time. Today is your host Shubham Kumar and welcome back to Legal Talk series once again. Someone has told me the truth that the world's largest donation is called education, and this thing is going to be true today because of you, ma'am. You are doing a great job through LinkedIn and you are increasing education by LinkedIn posts. So it's a very great, immense pleasure to have you on a board. And today's very special guest associated with us, her name is Ashna Jain, ma'am. And ma'am, you are currently working as a legal career coach, and you are also former legal associate of Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas and Dua Associate. So thank you so much for joining us today, ma'am, and thank you so much that you take out your precious time for us. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me on board. I'm very excited to have this conversation.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, my first question is, I would like to know about your background. Where did you complete your school education or college education?
Okay. So I was a commerce student and I've done my schooling from Chandigarh, Sacred Heart Convent School, Chandigarh. And post that I sat for CLAT and then I got through NLU Jodhpur. So yeah, 5 years there. And there also I had corporate law honors. So like if that works as an answer. So yes, that's where I did my college education.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for contributing your journey. Ma'am, my second question is, I would like to know about why did you think that you should become an advocate? And what things came in your mind that you think that you want to become an advocate?
Okay, so this is a very good question. And I think I have faced this question and I think almost all my interviews and wherever I've sat for my jobs and everything. So, see, honestly, like every student who takes up law, I mean, even I had that very small sort of a thought wherein, I wanted to say change the world or say do something for the world, etc. Right. And then, everybody tells us, ki, theek hai, you can study law and then that's the only way that you can change the world. So, honestly, like very honestly, I took up law for that. But I got very disenchanted with the idea of, say, changing the world and like, say what my contribution from the field of law would be. And so, yeah, I mean, that was my primary reason of taking up law. And I don't want to lie, but yeah, that was my reason of taking up law. So, yes.
Great for me, for all the students as well as also. My third question is, you are also former legal associate of Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas and Dua Associate. So can you please share your experience how corporate law firm works?
Okay, so again, like see, honestly, when I was at Shardul Amarchand, there is a system of rotation. Okay, so like people are put in different teams. Like whoever is a fresher and basically when they are hired, they are put in different teams for 6 months, 3 months, depending on the firm's policy. And all the firms have this policy. So I was put in the team of banking and finance when I had just joined SAM. So that was a good experience. But yeah, apart from that, otherwise a corporate law firm is like they have very diversified areas of work and they're very diversified matters and they usually work for corporate clients. So it's not like that, that you see that you don't work with the face, say, of the real person, of say who the real client is. You almost work with the representatives of companies, etc. So like, your usual clients would be, say, somebody like a public limited company, a private limited company, a partnership, etc., all of that. And the work is mostly very, very commercial in nature, like say drafting of agreements or say, like some of the procedural technicalities that they are struggling with, etc., all of that. Whereas when I worked with Dua Associates, so I had deliberately picked the litigation team there. So, but again, when I was working with Dua, again, like, obviously, since it's a law firm, they don't usually have individual clients. Like private clients are very less. They are all very institution based clients and companies, again, even if it is litigation. So, the only difference was that in SAM, I was working for companies for their back end procedures, like, say, drafting of contracts, deeds, etc. Whereas when I was working with Dua, I worked for the company's ongoing litigation. So, I mean, that's the whole idea of, say, how law firms work, essentially. So, yeah, that.
But, ma'am, did you know about how litigation work?
Okay, so again, see, there is a different facet to it. So when I quit SAM, okay, so I wanted to just take up litigation. Why? Because it's always told, right? Ki, I mean, if you haven't worked in corporate, maybe like litigation will suit you. That was the sort of mindset that everybody told me that I should be having. So I interned with a lawyer, first of all, for 2 months in Delhi, and he used to practice in Supreme Court and High Court. There is when I sort of learned how to even study a file and like how cause lists and everything work and filing work. After that, say when I joined BUA, of course I was exposed to a lot of drafting work, drafting not in terms of agreements and all, but in terms of petitions, applications, affidavits, etc., on a daily basis. Like, and that was for again very commercial matters, like say consumer matters, wherein the disputes are very commercial in nature, etc., and or say some matters that are listed in front of the chief justice, wherein it's just a very huge matter of question of law essentially, and nothing which concerns the which wouldn't concern say a very common people, wherein because they're not even aware that such disputes exist in
Yeah.
the first place, very much in the company itself. So but yes, I mean, of course a litigation firm also works like a chamber only. At the end of the day, they also have a clerk, they also have to do filing, etc., they have to go and argue the case. The only difference is that the stake of matters is very high, like as compared to a normal counsel. If you see, a counsel handles somebody's case also, like a counsel can handle a case like say check bounce case, wherein the check was only worth say 10,000 rupees, right? However, these companies, I mean these law firms, don't usually take up criminal matters, etc. They usually take up matters which are like, again, like to reiterate my point, very commercial in nature and like very high stake matters. So that is the only difference, but otherwise it works like a chamber, all in all.
Why you thought that you should help student through LinkedIn post?
Okay. So see, again, okay, so this goes back to the time, when I was in law school. When I got a job in my fourth year, I was really free in my fifth year, right? Like I was very free. I didn't have anything to do. I mean, of course, like when you get a job, you feel like, yeah, mujhe padhne ki kya zarurat hai, and stuff like that. So I was very free, and in that free time, I was helping my friends, my acquaintances, everybody to, with their applications, with their interviews, etc., just as a hobby because I was very free. So that went there, and then after that I always sort of continued helping people in their job applications, internship applications, just out of say a goodwill, or say just out of a gesture towards my friends and acquaintances. That's it. So when the lockdown happened and everything, I had a lot of free time. Why? Because since I was in the litigation team and the courts had shut down, right? So I had virtually a lot of time on my hand to try out anything that I wanted to do. So that's when I thought that probably I should be, like taking a step ahead in this direction and say, probably I could do something out of the hobby that I have. Whereas when you say that why I feel that I should be putting out, say, content in terms of, say, LinkedIn or Instagram posts, is because I feel that it's not only about the services that the people would always be interested in. There are also some very minute points, right, which people should be aware of generally. Like, say, when they're applying for an internship, when they're sitting for a job interview, etc., there are a lot of points which people should take into consideration, and they miss out on that, and that is not taught in a law school, that you can just say learn through your experience of say applying to places, etc. So which is why I felt that probably there's a gap that exists in a lot of colleges, and like somebody has to bridge that gap. And it's not only me, there are a lot of people who bridge this gap, and I feel that I mean, if a lot of people come together and say tell the things which are not accessible to everybody, I feel the gap can be bridged.
Yes.
So yeah, that
Yes,
is my
ma'am.
only reason.
Thank you for sharing your beautiful thoughts, ma'am. There are a lot of students in our country that who are preparing for the government competitive exam as well as corporate exam or interview. So, if you have any general tips for them.
See, when you're preparing for an interview, generally, like I'm saying, when you're preparing for an interview, there is always a resume that is there in place, right? So be thorough with your own resume. There are times when, people have written a lot of fancy things, a lot of complex things on their own resume. And when they sit for an interview, they don't know an answer to all of those things. It's just because they haven't prepared, or like they have just lied about those things in the resume. So that is the first thing, that just be prepared with your own resume. And second, and the most important thing is, to be aware of the things that are happening in the society. Like say, if you're sitting for a job interview with a law firm, or say even otherwise also, like say if you're sitting for a judicial services ka interview, right? They are going to definitely ask you something that is in the news and that has legality attached to it, right? Like say for instance, say when I was sitting for my job interview back in the day, they asked me about the legality and the constitutionality of demonetization. I should have, I mean, and I didn't read it in the newspaper. So like I just knew obviously demonetization had happened and that's it. But like I should have read it in detail, considering I'm a lawyer, and like, I should have known the constitutionality of the same. So I feel that be aware of say what is happening. So like if you ask me today, if somebody what should they study to be commercially aware, I feel Zomato IPO, LIC IPO, WhatsApp privacy policy, farmers protest, COVID-19, etc. These are all very things that are there in the newspaper always. So I feel that this is something that people should go through, I think, before sitting for an interview.
And
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much, ma'am.